All right, guys, how's it going? It is Wednesday, the 22nd of December 2021, and you're watching KopTalk.tv in association with footballclubshares.com, where you can buy real shares in real football clubs. That's right. How's it going? You all right? Yeah, good. Listen, please, I need you to note the domain name www.koptalk.tv. If at any time you get a moment spare, please pop along because I've put like a little mini website on there where it'll tell you when the next live schedule is, any important news to do with here, etc. I'm running a new crowdfunder for 2022 because I want to try and get a little Mac Mini to do some videos where it encode a little bit faster and things like that. And those of you that do step up and help on the crowdfunder, I'm going to list you on that website. And also under every video on here, okay? www.koptalk.tv. And also, if you just remember that domain at the top right of that little mini website, if you like, it just says go to YouTube. If you click on that, it brings you here. So that's the only domain name you need to remember to come direct to this channel. Anyway, guys, are you all right? Yeah, I am doing a KopTalk podcast today. All right, I will be doing a KopTalk podcast today, but it'll be a bit later. Probably around tea time or something like that. I hope you're okay. I hope you're looking forward to Christmas. You know me, I'm a bit grumpy like that. But only because I got no fucking family left, you know what I'm saying? My kids and my grandson are back in England. No, I'm looking forward to it getting out of the way, to be honest with you. I was a little bit sad yesterday with it. You know, that fairy tale of New York, the Pogues, you know, it always reminds me of my mum and that. It's just, it upset me a little bit yesterday. Friday night as well. This Friday we're having a knees up on here, okay, on this channel. So if you come here Friday night around 8:30 UK time, we'll have a few beers and listen to some music and banter. I'd love you to pop along if you can do so. But obviously I appreciate it's Christmas Eve and you'll probably be busy with your families and stuff like that. So today I wanted to talk to you about Mo Salah again. There's reports coming out of Germany about these demands apparently that Salah is putting forward to Liverpool Football Club that they need to sort out for him to consider staying at Liverpool Football Club. Now, I think there's a bit of truth in that Salah does want reassurances and things like that. I think that's normal, especially when you've got an aging squad, as Rafa would say. An aging squad. But I've seen it, there's a lot of people commenting on Twitter about Mo Salah demanding that we sign Haaland and stuff like that, which I just think is laughable. I don't follow any of them like lunatics on Twitter. I follow a handful of people that tweet about Liverpool on Twitter. Mainly people that support me and you guys, etc. If you're a member or if you're a channel member, if you're of this YouTube channel, or if you're a member of the website, then you let me know because I like to follow the people that support me. And I can just see them guys talking about the different claims and different the madness around it all. So the claims that were coming from originating from Sky Germany, I think, which is the equivalent of like Sky Sports News UK or whatever, were that he wants to be made one of the highest earners in the Premier League. I think we all know that. Wages of 400,000 approximately. Some people are saying even more, 450. He wants apparently more recognition from Liverpool. What that means, I have no idea, because absolutely everybody at Liverpool Football Club loves Mo Salah. The management, the other players, the supporters. So this is just where it just sounds all ridiculous. And the other demand was that he wants to see a new attacker brought in. I mean, even if that was true, that he wants to see a new attacker brought in, what the fuck has it got to do with him or anybody else? The manager will bring in who he wants to bring in. All right, we will, as fans will criticise the owners if we feel that he's not supporting, if the manager's not being supported by the owners, right? There's a fly in here. This is what happens when I put these lights on. They're so bright. The room all around me, believe it or not, is pitch black. I can't see anything over there. Just got these great big lights around me. Well, I think that's why the fly is doing that. The light, unless it's just attracted to shit, I don't know. I'll let my haters answer that one. So what was I saying? Yes, so that, I mean, I think that, look, there's some truth in the situation. I don't think it is all about money. Money's a massive part in this. But I do think he wants, what's the plans? I think that's fair for any of us. If we're working, applying for a job anywhere, which is the same as signing for a new club or extending maybe a new contract with the company you maybe work for, it's perfectly normal and fine for you to say what is the direction of the company, the club, etc. I think that's fine. But this is just a very speculative article where you've got I don't even want to call them journalists, but basically people that are dealing with online content, trying to get as many clicks as possible. Now, I always try to be very specific with this, because when you see a teasy headline, if I was to put a clickbaity headline on KopTalk, more people would view that article, but it wouldn't make me, KopTalk, any more revenue. And I've argued this with people for years, saying, you don't know what you're talking about, you fucking div, right? Let me explain. The big companies, like the Liverpool Echo that clickbait the hell out of you guys now, that's owned by Reach PLC. So they have loads and loads and loads of websites, and they pay people to deal with advertising. And they're not getting paid, per click, say like on Google AdSense or something like that. These big companies like Reach PLC, these big media organisations, what they do is they sell a portfolio to a potential advertiser and say, this is how much traffic we've got coming to our website. So you pay us X amount of pounds and we can advertise your products or services. All right. Maybe you don't want to know about this, but it's all relevant as to why you're reading so much clickbaiting stuff today. And when you get clickbaited on by these big websites, the Liverpool Echo, for example, and it's sad seeing the Liverpool Echo like that, but it's Reach PLC today. It's not the Echo we know from years ago. What do? You click through to it, you read it, and you leave straight away. All right. So you're bouncing off the site straight away. So these companies get these highly inflated figures and going, oh, we've got millions of people coming to our website or websites. And that's how they make their money today. So the online media or online journalists, if you can even call them that, are terrible. And it's not just to do with sport and football. If you look at, say, the Daily Mail website when it's talking about the vaccine, versus the offline version, they're all completely different. And I was listening to a podcast recently called The Thought Police. You will really like that podcast, I think, if you're not offended by swearing and stuff like that. The Thought Police, give it a look. And they were talking, they're experienced journalists, and they were talking about how, online media now is terrible and so misleading because it's all about dragging you all in. And this is not new. We're back in the day, back in the 90s, before we had all these websites and I was first starting out, we used to have Club Call and these teletext numbers, premium rate numbers, where it would say Liverpool clinch deal for striker, and you would phone up and pay 50 pence a minute, £1 a minute, and listen for 20 minutes, and at the end it wasn't true at all. That was just the first kind of clickbaiting, if you like. So Sky Germany are coming out with these claims, and then the other websites below them, are citing them, and that gets them more traffic. Do you see this mentioned on KopTalk.com today, the website? No, I think it's very misleading. On here, I will talk to you about it because it's easier to say this in audio than it is to type it up. And I'm seeing some of you guys on Twitter today saying that Salah's demanding Haaland sign, and I just think it's ridiculous. Yesterday there was an article out saying that Liverpool are the front runners to sign Erling Haaland. Is there one of you on here watching this video that believes that we will sign Erling Haaland? Because if there is, I'd like to hear from you. I don't think Liverpool Football Club have got that ambition, and we don't do stuff like that. All right, and in fairness to the owners, all right, the agent behind this, Liverpool don't want to do business with that agent, right? And if you go for Erling Haaland, you're going to get ripped off anyway. He's a great player, but the great managers, they find the players before they become Erling Haaland, don't they? And for me, Dusan Vlahovic, I would be going for him, and even if Liverpool said, we've got the money, we will pay the money for Erling Haaland, do you really think we're going to compete with the clubs that are interested in him? I don't think so. And we don't do stuff like that. You can look back to Virgil van Dijk and say, well, hang on a minute, we paid the money on him, we got him, he's a superstar. Who was trying to sign him at the time, though? Man City sniffed around him and they decided not to go ahead with it. That left us, And the difference there is that he expressed a willingness to join Liverpool. And Erling Haaland's a great player. I would love to see him at Liverpool. I was devastated we didn't sign him in that winter window a while back. We ended up with Minamino in the same window. And I actually genuinely thought back then that we might get him because the finances were very, very different. I'm sure he moved for less than 20 million. I can't remember. But his agent's a shyster, And Liverpool, we're football fans. We want to, pay everything, pay it, just pay it. And I get that. But there's certain things you can't do. You cannot allow yourself to get ripped off by these agents and that. So I would rather have a more modest manager like Jurgen Klopp that'll look for the next best thing and try and work his magic. And we've seen him do that loads of times. And that's why it worries me about when he possibly leaves. Well, not possibly about it. One day he will leave. Now, there's other players, there's other forward options. We know that the boss is looking at other forwards, if you like, other strikers. But I don't think Erling Haaland's one of them. And if you really believe that we could sign him, if you really believe that Mo Salah, do you think he's got the sort of personality where he would turn around and say, "You better sign Erling Haaland"? Does anyone actually believe this nonsense that they read? All right. It's not Mo Salah demanding, it would be his agent. Right? What would you do if you were Jurgen Klopp, Edwards, FSG, and someone came up to you and went, "You better sign, who is it? Or my client's leaving"? Do you really think that Liverpool Football Club, and I don't care who the owners are, we've all got our opinions on them. I aren't really bothered about the owners. I don't like them, and I've never liked them. I don't hate them, though. I'm just to me, they're in the background. I don't want to know anything about them. I prefer to focus on the football. But do you really think that Liverpool Football Club just pulls their pants down, and lets an agent stand behind them and roger them until they give in? It just doesn't happen, guys. And I don't think there's any suggestion of any wrongdoing here by Salah or the agent. This is just the media being the media. But it's when it starts filtering through other websites and then people don't realise the origin of where it's come from. And then football supporters go online and say, this is what's happening. And it's not happening. I think it's common sense to say that this is massively about money. And I understand, I addressed this yesterday, this is massively about money. He should be paid a wage that's right. But you cannot just, give in to these people. You can't. And I think Liverpool Football Club's in a stronger position than it was, say, when they negotiated a deal with Suarez. Because we've got other star players now. And yes, it would be a horrendous blow. Someone said to me in the comments on here yesterday, you can't just replace Mo Salah. No, maybe you can't. But, how old's Liverpool Football Club now? And Liverpool Football Club, we've lost key players over the years, fucking amazing players, and we've still gone on to win things. It's not all about Mo Salah. I hope there is, a breakthrough with this and some common sense. 400,000 a week. It's crazy. Now, the other suggestion that I'm hearing today is that Liverpool will not do any business in January because they want to save more of that money to give to Mo Salah. And when I say I'm hearing, I'm just, generally speaking, this isn't coming from people that I know or anything. This isn't someone that I trust saying this. Even today, I think John Aldridge has said in a column, I haven't read it yet, Liverpool probably won't buy anyone in January. That certainly seems the case now. And I think maybe as a result, that might be the time for Liverpool to announce something and give the fans the news they have been waiting for. And basically, he's going down the line of that, if Mo Salah sees people like David De Gea at United on 450 grand a week, why shouldn't Mo Salah be on the same? I love John Aldridge, I think he's great, but I disagree. I don't think you just go, right, give him 450, because then, someone else is going to want more, or the same one day. And if you're already upset at the lack of investment that you see the owners put into the squad, you're going to be even more upset. because this is depriving the manager of funds that he could use on other players. You know? So it's a difficult one. We want Mo Salah to sign and stay. I think it's good that I don't think he's got a lot of options at the moment. You need to keep an eye on what's happening with Mbappe and Haaland. You need to watch what's happening with them, because that's going to have a knock-on effect with everything else. But if you've seen something, or like someone or some website today saying Mo Salah's demanding this, that, and the other, even though I'm disappointed with what's happening at the moment with which is his agent. Really, I don't like his agent. Even though I'm disappointed, I just think, I don't think that's very fair on Mo Salah, because he's a likeable lad, and people are going around saying he's demanding that we bring in Erling Haaland, and because Salah is their hero, they're going, yeah, we agree with you, Mo, we want you to stay, Mo, we want Erling Haaland, because we all want that, but it's fucking fairy tale stuff, man. It's fairy tale stuff. Does my noddling? Okay. This is a Barcelona cup I'm drinking from. Now, before you start moaning, because no, you'd never moan. Right, listen, before you start moaning, oh, fuck me, that's a beautiful coffee. See, size that fucking thing. Right, before you start moaning, that was a gift from a friend of mine when he visited Spain once, and he stayed here with his missus and kids, and he brought me this as a little gift. And basically, I've got no flange in the house at the moment that's on hand to go and make me a cup of coffee when I want one. So I drag this out, I get the big one out, and it's like 2 or 3 cups in one, and it saves me a lot of fucking around. Don't worry, when there's a bit of skirt here, you won't see me drinking from this. That's a good fucking giveaway, that, actually. I need to be careful, I don't want to give my secrets away. So, some of you guys are like friends to me, Some of you don't interact with me, for whatever reasons, but a lot of you do, and you are like friends, especially those of you that are members or that join the streams on a weekend. I get really excited when I see you all, and I know now that some of you will be watching now next time, and I have a little cup like that. You'll be like, Dunk's got some fucking totty there. Jeff Stelling won't be able to have these conversations with you. Anyway, what's the point of the video? The point of the video is, don't believe what's coming from Germany, the specifics. Yes, Mo Salah wants a good payday. Yes, Mo Salah wants to see ambition from a club. What player doesn't? And yes, I'm sure Mo Salah wants to see great players in the squad. But can you imagine Mo Salah today, what it would be like I was going to say Melwood. I'm always going to say Melwood now, aren't I? If I miss Melwood, I've decided. Can I continue to call it Melwood, please? You know what Melwood would mean. Could you imagine if Mo Salah really had that attitude, and he's saying, I want some, some better strikers to play alongside me, better forwards or whatever. Could you imagine what it'd be like today? I mean, the next thing we'd be hearing about is that Mane doesn't like Salah. I mean, how many times have we heard that? I don't know, guys. Anyway, I hope you're all right. But listen, it's at the point of the video. Just ignore the nonsense. It's common sense. It's money and ambition. And I think it would be fair for any player to question what the ambition is of Liverpool Football Club, especially when the manager's coming down to the end of his contract. What's going to happen over the next few years? I still believe that Michael Edwards is part of the decision as to why he chose to leave now is because I think that he sees some instability ahead, potential instability ahead. And if there's potential instability ahead, whose head is going to be on the chopping block if it all goes wrong? They can put out letters and all that. If you believe everything that the Offal puts out, the Offal being the official LFC website, we called it the Offal back in the day, back in the 90s. Well, it didn't actually exist in the 90s, maybe 99, I can't remember. But the internet community, Liverpool supporters back in the day, when there was an official site, we called it the Offal. All right. God, the internet's changed so much since then. Incredible how much it's changed. Do you know back then, the internet, we had to pay for access per minute to go on the... Because can you imagine how many minutes I was online? My chick at the time used to go mental. She thought I was fucking ringing up all these dirty lines and all that because the phone bill was coming through for hundreds. It's amazing when you think about how much it cost to get on the internet back then and how slow it was. God knows. And another quick thing as well, reminiscing... Like, you guys can go on a website now and read a full article, a news article. You couldn't do that back then. So I used to go to the newspaper shop and buy like all the newspapers, and I didn't even have a scanner, and I used to paint. It killed me. I used to type up like, if you was like a 2-page spread on a Sunday, like a Michael Owen interview or Robbie Fowler interview, I'd sit there and type it all up word for word, just so that other Liverpool supporters around the world can read it. It's true. I'm a fucking legend, me, you know. Fucking daddy. I'm the daddy of the old Liverpool Saints. I mean, the young pups now that are watching, they don't give a fuck. They just watch all these YouTubers going, "Hey, how are you?" with a like bright red and white, you know, scarf on that they've never worn ever. You know what I'm saying? And the videos are 3 minutes. Hey, 3 minutes, don't knock 3 minutes. I can do a lot in 3 minutes, but I get these little videos through emails through from YouTube saying how to maximise your audience retention. I couldn't give a fuck if someone's watching that, to be honest. Right, I'll stop moaning. I'm all right. I just wanted to go easy on Mo Salah. Yesterday I was fucking for it, telling him to go piss off, right? And I still am, all right. But I'm seeing some people say some negative things today about Mo Salah, and I don't think it's true. I don't think that's true at all. So leave him alone. And I mean, these reports, they get picked up from Germany, then they're spliced up and a different version comes out. And it goes from the original article saying, Erling Haaland would be a good signing for Liverpool, to then like someone in England on one of these shitty little fucking clickbait things saying, and Mo Salah wants Erling Haaland. Surely I don't need to tell you what. Why have I even made this video? Fuck it, I'm going. All right.